from inside Memorial Stadium. This is the Huskers Radio Network podcast. All Huskers, all the time. Here's your host, Jessica Coody.
Welcome back into the Huskers Radio Network podcast. I'm Jessica Coody, and joining me this week is sophomore setter Anni Evans, who's coming off quite a weekend. Anni, just take us back to last weekend, and you come in and with the fourth set against Kansas State, and Coach Cook was really raving about the energy that you provided. Just take us back through it.
Yeah, it was definitely a very surreal experience, and I guess one that kind of had Coach said couldn't have been scripted much better. I guess when my number was called, I was really excited, and my goal was just to play free, bring a lot of positive energy to the team, and just bring some kind of fire that kind of could turn things around. And yeah, I was just really excited to get in.
And on Friday night as well, you played a big role, but just how special was that for you? Because a lot of people probably don't realize, even though you're a sophomore, you didn't get to play in a packed Devaney. And so, to have your number called and have that kind of role and get to be in front of that crowd for the first time, really.
Yeah, for sure. Being from Nebraska and watching the volleyball program when I was little, it's kind of everything I've ever dreamed of. So it was honestly a experience I really can't put into words, but it was amazing to see Husker Nation in the flesh.
Were you nervous?
Oh yeah, I was. I was trying to keep very calm, but I wasn't really nervous until we came out when we had put our jerseys on and we did lineups and it was all that, and when just having during the national anthem and being in the full Devaney, it was my stomach was just butterflies.
So when Nicklin goes down in the red and white scrimmage and leading up to that week, you knew that you were going to be needed. Can you, I guess, just take fans through what that week was like for you, knowing that you were going to be called upon and that you were going to be needed last weekend?
Yeah, Coach and Tyler and Jalen, they all do a really good job of preaching, your numbers can be called at any time, you have to prepare like you're the starter. So I guess that's kind of an attitude I take into every week, but I guess when it was more reality, you have a little bit more nerves, you want to try to be perfect, but I think our coaches did a really good job of preparing us with a game plan, preparing us with facts, and so we could really focus on that, and we really work as a team, and especially our setter group, we really work together, all three of us, so we kind of learn from each other, learn from Nicklin, me and Kendi, feed it off each other really well.
So the broadcast was talking a lot about coming in cold, that you had to come in cold and really help turn things around there in that, especially in the fifth set. Mm-hmm. What's that like? I mean, for us that don't play volleyball and don't know what that's like to come in cold, what that kind of means and what that's like to kind of get right in there and have to, hey, help us turn this around really quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty difficult. I had been sitting for about 2 hours maybe at that point. Just kind of watching, visually taking in what was happening on their side, what was happening on our side. So I guess I kind of had a coach's view of just watching the game at that point. And then when my number was called, we were in a timeout. So I kind of did some high knees to try to get my body back ready to go play and jump and play front row. So yeah, it was definitely difficult, just physically, but I think I was really prepared mentally, and I think that really translated over.
What was the feeling like, especially you guys were down 12-6 in that fifth set, and you start coming back from behind? What was that feeling like when you know that you kind of have a hand in that comeback? Yeah,
it was awesome. Honestly, I was just very present, and I just remember being very in the moment and not worrying about what the score was and not worrying, okay, we have 5 more points until we're tied. I just felt very in the moment, and we have a really special group of girls. We were so close, and just being out there with 6 of my best friends was awesome.
So I'm sure you guys, want to dominate every single set, but how much can you take away from the way that you guys played Kansas State, that, they really played you tough in the third set, and then you guys have to battle back? How much can you grow from that this early on in the season?
Yeah, we had some young players out there, and we had some experience out there, so I feel like we learned a lot about resiliency and just trying to not make errors. We kind of made some mindless errors at times that kind of translated and snowballed. So I think we learned a lot from this game, and taking it forward, we're going to know when we're down, doesn't matter, we can come back, and we have a lot of belief in each other, and I think it just shows how resilient this group is.
So I definitely wanted to talk to you about last weekend, but you also have a really cool story and backstory and that I think fans would like to hear. So you're a Nebraska kid. You said that. And your brothers both played football here. What was that like growing up as the youngest and watching your two older brothers play football here at Nebraska?
Yeah, it was. I always wanted to be like them growing up. There was honestly nothing inside me that didn't want to, I guess, continue the tradition of coming here and playing a sport. Just watched them, their hard work and all that paid off for them and all the great experiences they had here. It's just something I really strive to do. And I guess it really pushed me to work harder, and they just really laid a great pathway for me.
So, and they came up with a nickname for you at a young age that is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they called me Bob, and I guess now it's pretty ironic that I'm the Bob playing in Bob Devaney. So, yeah, they always called me that, and I guess it just really stuck. And yeah.
They called you Bob thinking one day you'd play in the Bob Devaney set.
Yeah, they did. They wanted, because that's always what I dreamed of, and basketball was in there at a time, too, and I was a big basketball fan growing up also. So, and then when volleyball came, it was even more like, oh, like, this is something I want to do, and so, yeah, I really had even a deeper meaning behind it too.
How neat is that? You know that you're now playing in the Bob Devaney Center, and they called you that as a, and they still call you that now?
Oh yeah, it stuck. It stuck forever, I think.
So, growing up, you said you played basketball. You're a basketball fan. How much did you? I mean, beyond just your brothers playing here, how much did you kind of dream of, wearing Huskers across your chest and playing for Nebraska?
Yeah. I watched like Lauren Cook, Mary Pomler, Kelly Hunter, like all of the great setters, all the great players, Jordan Larson, Justine, really all of them. They're so fun to watch, and I think volleyball is a really fun sport to watch too, and just the level they play at here, and then having my brothers here, knowing some of the girls, like seeing them be friends and meeting them, it was just, it made me dream even bigger. So,
and then, because Nebraska has really grown the sport of volleyball, right, throughout the years. Can you just maybe explain that a little bit? And I'm sure it was already big when you were playing by the time you were kind of getting up there, but just how much Nebraska, this university and this team, has kind of played into the development of high school teams and just the youth volleyball kind of growth in this state.
Yeah, I think honestly the biggest testimony to that is we have 5 Nebraska girls on our team right now, which is insane. We have it's almost half the team that's just Nebraska girls, small town, big town, whatever. So that just speaks volume itself. And this state of Nebraska produces a lot of great players. Like this weekend on K-State, there's Nebraska girl. Upcoming, there's some girls from Arizona State that play. Like there's a lot of Nebraska girls that end up playing Division I volleyball, end up playing even farther in pro. So I think it's just a testimony to how much this university means and how much us as a team inspire young girls to play.
So can you, I guess then when you go through your high school and the recruiting process and you decide to walk on here, what went into that decision? I mean, beyond just being a dream, because you could have played somewhere else and gone and played and be the star, just what went into that decision to want to walk on?
Yeah, like I said, it was a dream, and then also like academics here is really important, and just like the way the staff works and like how they really make everyone feel included, and just honestly everything about it. It's close to home, which I really enjoyed. The girls, I just automatically click with them. There was really nothing that wasn't appealing, I guess, is a better answer.
So then to be able to have your brothers in the stands for the first time after, they played such a big part in everything and you've fallen in love with this place, how special was that for you?
Yeah, I think my parents said that my brothers might have been more nervous than them. So I think they even might have been more nervous than me, to be honest. We kind of lived through each other a little bit, and they're kind of getting to know, they're still learning the ins and outs of volleyball a little bit. They kind of only knew basketball and football. So they're still kind of learning, but they're so excited. I know, like, they're screaming at the TV, like they're so excited and they love watching.
What role did they play in you becoming the athlete that you are today?
Yeah, they always pushed me very hard, and like my brothers, they would train me. They would make sure, like if it was volleyball, basketball, they would make me go in the gym, and they would always make me do extra stuff. And I guess just like watching how hard they work really inspired me too.
You brought something up earlier I wanted to go back to as well, the kind of setter you and how special and how important that role has been here. How special is that for you to be a part of that legacy, to be a setter at Nebraska?
Yeah, there's been so many great setters at Nebraska, and there's way too many to even name, but it's just really special, and we work really hard to try to keep that standard at Nebraska, and we do a lot of extra stuff to make sure that we keep known as that.
What goes into that? I mean, how do you become, elite setter that, at this stage that you can be a part of this legacy?
Yeah, I guess like setters are very much the quarterbacks of the volleyball team. So we come in early to practice. We usually are one of the last ones to leave the gym. We do a lot of extra film, and then we really feed off each other. We're really working on spreading knowledge to each other. Like Nicklin, if I'm seeing something when she's playing, I'll let her know hey, I see this with the right front, or we're just really hold each other to a high standard, and we do a lot of extra stuff.
That's really cool. Do you have any specific games that stand out in your mind, either of your brothers or volleyball or basketball, that when you were growing up that you kind of remember going to?
I always liked going to the bowl games because I think we went to San Diego twice or California twice, and I was a bit younger at the time, so I was more focused on getting to go to Disney World, and so that's kind of how I based my knowledge off of is where it was and how many fun things we got to do. Not as much the game, but I don't know. And I guess when the Nebraska volleyball team won the national championship in Omaha, I was there. That was really special to win it in Nebraska.
Wow,
yeah.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Cool that you were there. So let's kind of wrap this up, just going back to this weekend and another opportunity to play a lot of matches. You have 2 on Friday and Saturday. Kind of how do you guys go about the quick turnaround and bouncing back and being ready to continue to grow as you guys get the season kicked off?
Yeah, we're really excited. With COVID still being kind of a thing, we really take every game as a blessing, and we're really excited to play every game that comes our way, but just really making sure we're getting the right nutrition, sleep, recovery. We work with our trainer and our strength coach to make sure we're recovering and our bodies are ready to go, and our coaches always have great game plans for us, so we're excited to play.
Well, Anni, Bob Evans, you're going to be mad at me for putting that out there, huh? We appreciate your time. Best of luck this weekend, and congratulations on a great opening weekend.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for more, and subscribe and like wherever you listen. This is the Huskers Radio Network podcast. Thanks for listening.